Así arranca la segunda parte, última parte del programa. Así arranca el Es Esto, la fábrica del día de la fecha. Esta parte del programa, en esta sección, en donde pensamos, redefinimos, repensamos, reanalizamos todo lo que tiene que ver con la industria de la música. Esta industria de la música que hace un puñadito de años nada más precisaba de aviones, de containers, de cosas que muevan cosas para que lleguen a todos lados del planeta Tierra, desde un vestuario de cine, del teatro, de lo que sea, y ni hablar de la música. Y para hablar de todos estos cambios, revoluciones, de todas estas cosas que han pasado en estos últimos momentos, es que nos nutrimos de diferentes diálogos. Hemos hablado con productores musicales, con sonidistas, con arregladores, con gente que organizaba festivales y obviamente con artistas, muchos artistas, como es el caso del día de la fecha, donde nos vamos para Estados Unidos para hablar con los amigos y amigas de QUINN the Brain, que ya están conectados con nosotros. Hello, how are you? Are you listening me good?
Hi, yes, I can hear you very good. Can you hear me?
Excellent.
Perfect.
Bueno, Raulo, todo tuyo, mandate.
Dale. Hello, thanks for your time. We are live. We are going to start with the interview. I'm going to make a little translation for the Spanish listeners. So, please tell us your full name, where are you from, and how old are you?
My name is Arta Black. I'm from Houston, Texas. And a lady never tells her age.
Ok, no problem. Bueno, estamos hablando con Arta, que es de Texas y no quiso decir su edad, así que no hay ningún problema. And can you tell us which is your first memory of you listening to music?
My first memory, that's hard. You know, I grew up listening to the radio a lot when people were still listening to the radio a lot. You know what I mean? So I started that way. It was very, you know, and radio used to be very diverse, very like all over the place. And now it's kind of very similar. So it's just changed, you know? So I would say my first memories, I had to be like 10 or something. I don't know. My mom used to play MTV on the TV all the time. So like I grew up having music videos in the background of my life, you know, just as like background. So I think some of that kind of seeped in, you know.
Okay. You receive music through the radio, through MTV, and when you were young, which kind of people do you meet? With rock and roll, heavy metal, punks, that kind of thing?
Oh yeah, so I think when I was like in middle school, I was very fascinated by like alternative culture. I would see people with like green hair and, you know, piercings, and I'd be like, who are they? You know, like I want to know about them because I never seen anyone like that. And then I started to realize it was like a music subculture. And so then I got interested. I'm like, what are they listening to? And then it turned out I liked it too. You know, it was just kind of like, you don't know until you try. And then all of a sudden you're like, this is great.
And you say that the alternative was a subculture. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so I have a hard time being in like a box. I like a lot of things. So like back then I liked punk and ska and metal and hair metal, and I still do. Like I don't like one thing, you know, I'm everywhere. I listen to all kinds of music, even like pop. Like I like everything.
Ok, bueno, nos estaba contando un poco de la historia de... Yo le pregunté su primer recuerdo escuchando música y lo que nos dice que la radio, Manu así que estaba full con la radio, y bueno, también de background de su vida en general estaba en MTV, la madre ponía mucho MTV, había muchos videos pasando, y también que ella en el secundario, en su adolescencia, estaba muy cerca de la cultura alternativa, o sea, había gente con pelos de todos los colores, y bueno, que dice que hasta el día de hoy que sigue siendo así, o sea, le gusta todo tipo de música, hasta la música pop. And can you tell us which was your first instrument and which was the first song that you learned?
My first instrument, I started learning on a Epiphone SG. So I played on that guitar for like 6 years. And then the first songs, just like that. Yeah, yours is better. Because you have like that, I have like the dots, and mine was like $100 pawn shop guitar. So it was like used, you know, like very heavily, like it's not a great guitar, the one I have, but it did its job and I love it. I still have it. It's like, you don't get rid of your first one, right? Mm-hmm. So I would say the first song I learned, I feel like it's either like a Ramones song, or I remember when I was learning, it was like, you know, the modern, you know, I remember listening to like the Pretty Reckless, like I thought they were cool at the time. I don't like to learn covers very often, so I didn't learn a lot. Like I just made up stuff because I got bored. So I'm one of those people who never learns a full song.
It happened to me. I have the same problem. The same problem. Bueno, nos estaba contando sobre su primer instrumento. Era una guitarra SG barata. Eso otro gran mito, Manu, que siempre que dicen en Argentina, no, todos los americanos o los europeos empiezan con instrumentos caros. Eso es mentira. En todas las entrevistas nos dicen lo mismo, que empiezan con instrumentos baratos. Empezó con una SG de alrededor de $100, que la sigue teniendo todavía, y las primeras canciones probablemente sean de Pretty Reckless o de Ramones, tipo cosas así, que tampoco terminaba de aprendérselas de todo, porque ella más que nada quería tocar sus propias cosas. And can you tell us which was the first concert that you went?
Had to be something emo. I know that. So it was like, I don't think it was Taking Back Sunday. It might have been, but I remember going with a friend. It had to be Taking Back Sunday, actually. It had to be them and like Count the Stars. Like back then I was very into like, I went through a lot of phases. So at that time period, it had to be either indie or emo. So I'm thinking it's Taking Back Sunday was the first band.
Okay.
I think. It's been so long, I don't remember, to be honest.
No problem. In a big place?
Yeah, it was at this iconic place in Houston called Numbers, and it's still around. It's a big like dance club, goth club. Like they used to have a lot of shows there. They don't have that many shows anymore. It's a very big place.
Okay.
So, but now it's mostly like a dance club.
Okay. Bueno, nos estaba contando que su primer concierto fue Taking Back Sunday, que es una banda emo, y fue en un lugar muy grande en Houston. And can you tell us how did Quinn the Brain? No, it's not Quinn, it's Quinn. How do you pronounce? Quinn
It is Quinn, yeah.
Quinn.
Quinn. Quinn the Brain, yeah. It's just a name. Quinn is a name.
Okay.
So,
how did it start?
I actually.
How did the band start?
Well, you know, I started the band like a while ago, and I wanted to hear a lot of. At the time, I was listening to a lot of like Pixies, Babes in Toyland, Sonic Youth. And I was missing, like, I wanted something modern, you know, and I couldn't find anything. I was like, where are all these bands that sound kind of like the late 80s, early 90s? I had just like discovered this like genre that was very new to me. And so I was really excited. And finally, I was starting to play, and I was like, you know what? If I can't find it, I'll be the person to do it for myself. So I just started writing stuff. It was mainly for me. I honestly never thought anything was going to happen. I thought I was going to make music with my friends, and we'd maybe play a show. And then it just kind of like, you know, when you do like little things and it keeps building and building and building, and it was kind of like that. And all of a sudden now here we are, you know, playing big shows and doing things. And I'm just like, wow, you know, it started so small, but it blew up. I mean, it took time. It's not like overnight it happened, but you know what I mean? It took time. And now I'm like, I look back and I was like, I look at older stuff and I'm like, okay, we weren't used to be that good, but after years and years of playing, you become better. Exactly. And so it was just a lot of like, I wanted to hear something, I couldn't find it. And now the funny part is what we play is very, it's become popular. So it's like, it's made a comeback, the 90s comeback. At least in our scene, like not like so popular that it's on the radio, but popular enough where I see more bands. Exactly. That's what I mean. So now I see bands like us all over the place, where when I first started, there was nobody. And so I like it though. I like it. I want it. I want to have more of things that I want to hear.
A complete scene of that kind of music.
Yeah, like the 90s have made it like a little bit of a comeback. Like, exactly. And so has the early 2000s, exactly. In music at least. Like I've seen a lot more bands. We just played with a band from Austin who was very similar to us. And I was like, wow, okay, like this is cool. And so I like that. I like hearing that kind of stuff.
Manu?
Le quiero preguntar, porque ella dice que como que se enganchó con toda la escena alternativa que nombró, sobre todo Sonic Youth, son muy alternativos en la forma de afinar la guitarra. Le quiero preguntar si ella afina la guitarra de la forma estándar o también es rebuscada así como Sonic Youth y todas esas partes.
Bueno, Manu is a guitar player and he knows, he wants to know about the way that you tune your guitar. You make a standard tuning, or you are...
I'm actually only in standard tuning. So I know Sonic Youth has like the weird tunings and like, or weird, you know what I mean? Like they're just different, they're unique. Honestly, I haven't even branched out. It's not because I don't want to, it's just because I keep writing songs in standard and they work. So I do plan on writing in like drop D and maybe like drop C. Like it just depends. I'm not against it. It's just I've never made it past it because I still find standard interesting. So yeah, that's really why.
Tiene la estándar, Manu. Dice que hay un montón de canciones que son de una manera o de otra, pero ella particularmente porque estaba contando que sigue haciendo muchas canciones y la afinación estándar le sirve todavía.
No, y bueno, la hace sonar rara igual, así que bien.
Sí. Manu likes the way that you play guitar.
Sí.
We came a certain kind of.
I thought it was a different tuning. I thought.
A lot of people do. It's because I play like a lot of weird chords, like a lot. You know, I don't do like the traditional bar chords. I do, but like I change it. I make up stuff. It sounds good. It works. You know what I mean? Half the time I don't even know what it's called, but I'm like, that sounds good. So I go a lot by feeling and sound.
Perfecto.
Wow, excelente.
Experimenta con la guitarra y cuando tiene un sonido que le gusta, sí, muy bueno.
Digo, aquellos que no escucharon mucho la banda, suena que está afinando en cualquier lado.
Sí.
Y no, la verdad que no. Y bueno, me sorprendió mucho. Muy bueno.
Muy bueno, sí, la verdad que sí. In 2020, you released your first EP, Open Wide. How was the recording process and why you put that name to the EP?
Oh, so you know, that recording took a while because we recorded in Austin, but we're from Houston, and that's like a 2.5 hour drive to the city, to the different city. And so I had a friend who had a recording studio in his house, in his garage. And so because we don't have a lot of money, I went to him and I was like, you know, he gave me a very good deal. Most people will charge you like per hour, and he charges per song, which is unusual. Nobody does that. It's very rare, right? And so I went to him, and I mean, that recording took like, that little force, it took a long time. It took like, we started recording that in like 2019. But because I had to keep driving to Austin, back and forth, like that year, I went to Austin so many times. Like, I felt like I was living there, you know? It's just because like I'd be like, oh, I want to add this guitar part. Oh, I forgot this delay. Oh, I want to add this. And every time I came up with an idea, I had to go back, which was very annoying. So now like the last EP we did it in Houston because I was like, no more, that took too long. But yeah, it was over a course of time. So it took like a few months. It would have been faster if it was in the same city. And it was just 4 songs. And at the time it was a different lineup. Like Quinn has changed a little bit. You know, I've been the main member, but like, you know, we lost your drummer at the time. So that first EP has a different drummer than the second EP. And then like, but honestly, the music's pretty similar. I feel like even though we've switched out, it's just maintained that whatever sound, it's still there. So anyways, yeah, that first album, it took a while, and it was, you know, when you do anything your first time, it's like you're overthinking it. You're like, oh my God, should I do this? Should I do that? It's our first one. And so I picked Open Wide because at the time, that song, Open Wide, was the new song. And I liked it a lot. And so I was like, I'm going to make this the name of the album because I wanted to start the song off that way. And it was funny too, because I think our second bass player at the time, he actually ended up leaving right before we recorded. He didn't like that song. He was like, Open Wide, it's kind of weird. Like, just cut it out. And I was like, no, I like it. And so I'm glad I stuck with it because people love that song. It just, you know, it depends on the people. Like a lot, that's what I've learned. A lot of these things is like, it depends on the person.
Sí.
So anyways, did I answer all your questions?
No, it's okay. We really like that song, and I personally like it. Bueno, nos estaba contando que el proceso de grabación del primer EP, que es del 2020, fue en otra ciudad, que tardaban 2 horas y media en ir y volver, sí, así que tardaron bastante en grabarlo. Y lo que nos estaba contando, bueno, tuvieron varios cambios de gente que estaba trabajando en la banda. Bueno, se le fue el baterista y también cambiaron el bajista, así que bueno, pero igualmente la onda, el estilo de la banda, del grupo en general está bien desarrollado en ese. No cambió tanto a partir de la grabación de ese disco. In March of 2024 you released your last EP, Bleed Me. Bleed Me. You changed many things in the recording process, or it was the same?
We did it in a different studio, and this one was done differently because the first EP was recorded all together. The second EP was recorded at different times in different studios. So like the Bad Friend and Burnout were recorded in Austin. And then Smile and Serpent Hisses recorded in Houston with a completely different person. And I think at the time we were going to release them as singles. But then I was like, you know what? Like, I'd rather just put them on an EP. That way I can print it. And even though I haven't done that yet, but like I can print it and we can at least like sell it. So it became an EP later. But to me, it's more like, it's almost like compilation style because it was recorded at different times. So it sounds different. Like Serpent Hisses sounds very different than like Smile. Even though they were recorded at the same studio, it was still different times. I think one was in the spring, one was that winter, like something like that. So that was also recorded over different times. I don't know. One day I will record everything around the same time within the same week. But for now, I've just been all over the place.
You still buy CDs and LPs? You like that?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. I still buy CDs. I buy vinyl. I hate cassettes. I do not like those. But that's because they warp. I feel like the people who like them, they either don't remember or don't know that they get ruined very easily. But with CDs, I just grew up on them. So I have a huge collection. And the thing I like about it is like, everyone's like, well, it's on streaming. But the thing is, all the bands that I like, most of the music is not on streaming because nobody knows who they are. You know what I mean? They were like one album from 1989 and, you know, like I have the CD, but you can't find it online. So like stuff like that. So I mainly own if I like your band or if I like any music, I'll buy something. Like I don't stream. I mean, I stream, but I buy. So like I still have a collection. Honestly, half my money goes to like buying CDs. And vinyl.
So, we have the same type of thinking here. We don't really support streaming services.
Yeah, because that's why you get what 0.00001 cent for like one stream. It's not really fair to the artist. So at least when you buy the CD and the vinyl, you're actually supporting them. They're getting that money. It goes into their pocket.
Exactly.
When you stream, that's nothing. They get nothing. Like. I think in the whole time we've been online, I made like $25. Like it's really not that much. It's something sad, you know. But then again, we're smaller, so it's different. If you're bigger, you make more money. That's just kind of how it goes.
Exactly. Manu, ¿tenés alguna pregunta?
No por el momento, pero me gustaría hablar en algún momento de pedalcitos, distorsiones y esas cosas.
Manu wants to know about your gear, you know, your guitar gear. Like
I want to know the distortion pedal you use and that kind of stuff, you know.
Okay, yeah. So on all the recordings and up until recently, I'm talking like I just bought a new amp, like, and I played it only twice at a show. But before that, I've only had a Marshall half stack, like a JCM 2000. So all of my sound has been the amp. Like there is no distortion pedal. It's all the amp. So, but recently I bought a new...
Like the Smile video.
So yeah, in the Smile music video, that's my amp. That big half stack behind me, that's the JCM. I use that for everything.
You don't use any pedal?
No, I do, but it's like, I use the chorus like on open wide, right? Like it's very minimal. When I started playing, I was very minimalistic. I had like maybe one or two pedals. I have a foot switch, a tuner, the chorus pedal, and then maybe a delay. And those are all for like little leads.
Sorry the question. You are the first one that plays an instrument in your family, or you have a brother or something like that?
No, I'm the only one. Yeah. I'm the only one. And I have a brother. I tried to get my family to join my band when I was younger. I was like, let's start a band. Because I have a brother and a sister all around the same age. And they're like, get out of here. Like, we don't want to do that. Like, they just didn't want to. Actually, my sister is a big surfer. And my brother kind of is the same thing. They're more into like sports and surfing and that kind of stuff. So I'm the only musician in the family.
Because you have a really, ¿no? Tiene una manera de tocar súper, que yo pensé que venía de familia o alguien, Manu, que quizás le decía, pero nada, porque eso es súper básico, lo de tocar solamente con el sonido con el audio del equipo, es tremendo eso, Manu, es tremendo, muy bueno.
I don't know what that means, I'm sorry.
No. We were talking about the sound that to get a sound from only the equipment is really complex.
Oh, you know, it's because when you have something for so long, you start really getting to know it, right? I didn't like switch my instruments. I just stuck with what I had and then I worked with it. So I just recently bought a new amp that's not the half stack, it's smaller and it's more clean. I wanted a more clean, kind of like how Smile is a little bit cleaner. I wanted something like that. So, I mean, I like to have choices. So now I have I have a Fender combo now that's cleaner, and then I still have the half stack because I don't get rid of anything. Just bury me with all my gear. I'm gonna be one of those people. Just put it in the grave.
Wow.
But yeah, anyways, all of my stuff comes into that. I do have more pedals now. A lot of it was like presents, or I found some at a garage sale for $10. Of course I'm gonna buy it, but I don't use them all. I do want to use them more to have more of like texture and sound, but all of the older stuff is very basic, very like minimalistic, maybe 3 pedals max.
Perfect. Increíble. Sí, muy bueno. El resultado, la verdad que es súper bueno y pesado. Aparte, toca fuerte, me parece. Tocan muy fuerte. We are going to make only 2 more questions. We are really happy to speak with you. Sorry.
Quiero hablar un poco de la escena de Texas. Vamos a hablar un poco cómo es la noche ahí. Porque uno tiene como una idea todo muy muy conservador, ¿viste? Desde acá.
Sí. Manu wants to know about the music scene and the life in Texas, because for us that we are out, we think that it's a really conservative, a very quiet place. Or can you explain that the day life in Texas?
Yeah. So it just depends on what city you're in, right? So we're in Houston, and Houston they have a music scene, but it's quite small. Like, it's not that big. Everyone knows each other. You might be in a different genre, but you know everybody. Like, there's only like 10 venues. So you can play all of them, but you have to branch out. You can't stay in Houston. Like, you have to leave. And so other cities like Austin, for example, that's like the music capital of Texas, right? Mm-hmm. That place is like so many bands. Every time you walk, you run into a band, So it just depends. San Antonio is really good. Dallas is really good. Like, every major city has a music scene. It just depends on what type. So like Dallas is more rock and roll, whereas Houston is maybe more metal, Like, it just depends on what genre. But there is one.
Wow. And the nightlife?
¿Cómo?
The nightlife, so it's mostly like drinking. Okay. Houston is a drinking city. That's all you do. Like, there, you don't do anything. You don't walk. It's too hot. So you go out and you drink, and eat and drink. That's it.
Terrible.
Like, there's not much left.
And if I wanna light a joint in the middle of a QUINN THE BRAIN concert, is everything okay? The police going to take me out?
If you
what? Happens? If you wanna smoke weed in a QUINN THE BRAIN show,
nobody will notice. Everyone will be like, hey, can I have some? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't care.
Okay.
It is illegal, but everybody does it. It's always there.
No, here we hear that Texas is very militarized, like a conservative. Here we sound like that, but okay, it's like every place. Okay.
It's a major city. Now, if you go to like the outskirts, it's a little different. Like, if you go to like a small town, they're way more strict. Everyone knows each other. It's a little different. The major cities are like any other city in any other like country. It's like everybody does everything. Nobody cares. That's the thing. Like, everyone thinks Texas is so conservative, but if you go to the cities, they're very liberal. Okay. Very liberal.
You sound very, very free, my friend.
we like the way.
Very alternative. So, see, Texas, QUINN THE BRAIN, something didn't close to me, but now it's clear. It's clear. Okay.
We understand the concept.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
I love your song. I thought you have a different tuning. No, I thought you have a lot of pedals. No. You are the queen.
Isn't that the fun part? Not knowing and then being like, wow, okay, that's not what I thought. Yeah.
No, but
I like being surprised too.
Yes.
Yeah. You surprised me.
Beautiful. Sí, bueno, Manu, si te parece una pregunta más y
cerrémosla y agradezcámosle por vida.
Sí. We are really happy to meet you, and it was a really pleasure to meet you and to speak with a person that loves music like you. So we are going to make the last question. Just to finish the interview, we are going to play Smile, the song Smile. Can you tell us what did the lyrics talk about?
That one just, I've heard a lot of things what other people have said, but when I wrote it, it was like a mix of things, right? So it was like, I don't know, like honestly, it's hard to explain this kind of stuff. I'm just like, well, it was kind of like a little bit about like myself, my family, also about like, cause okay, so I have, do you know what RBF is?
No.
It's called, I don't know if you could, it's called raging bee face. I don't know if you can curse, but you know, it's when you look very angry all the time.
Sí.
Yeah, like I look like when people see me, they think I'm either mad or they think like, oh, she looks so mean. It's just my face. Like I cannot help it. You know, if I talk to you, I'm like smiling, but if I'm just sitting there, I look very upset. I can't help it. So people always would be like, smile, like either with my family or random strangers, and it gets annoying, right? You're like, I'm happy, everything's fine. And so like, that's what the song was kind of about. It's like, I'm fine, like, it's okay. I might not look it, but it's fine. So it was kind of like a very vague response to that. Very vague.
Perfect. So, thank you very much for your time. We really like to speak with you. We are going to send you the interview when the live show ends. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.